Hey guys, welcome back. On this week's episode, we are going to be going over the WWDC Apple event, which was pretty exciting yesterday.
Very. I'm majorly excited. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
there's a lot
It
of
was
cool
actually
things
good.
that
It was
came
actually
out.
good.
So we figured we kind of break it up into a couple categories. We're going to go into Mac OS. We're going to go talk about the new Macs and stuff coming out. Go into iOS, talk about the new iPad coming out, and then kind of just like roll through that way.
Yeah, we're just gonna be kind of talking about it, our thoughts. This isn't gonna be a fully specced out video about everything. You could read that. You could see that in plenty of other spots. Kind of be talking about it, what we think. If you want to chime in at any point, just write down right in the comments. And I guess I'll kick it off.
Yeah, kick it off.
So, if you know Mac OS, it's been lion, mountain lion, leopard, snow leopard. What was the
Mavic,
last one? Mavic,
El Capitan.
El Capitan, and then Sierra. Did I miss one? Yosemite.
Yep, yeah, Yosemite was in there.
And then Sierra. So like we see the trend going, but High Sierra is the name they went with, which you could see a lot of jokes about that. They made a big joke at the conference.
Yeah, they themselves even made a joke about it.
So I thought that was great. But there's a lot of cool things. I'm most excited about the Metal 2 support, which basically that allows the Macs to have external graphics card support,
Awesome.
which is fantastic. And
Because
they
as we all know,
yeah,
the video cards kind of suck.
yeah, and they made a big focus about gaming. They had a really cool VR demo, which
Yeah.
I was really pumped for. It made me a little upset that you helped me build
Well,
that
that was
fully
with a-
spec'd out PC.
That was with a 21-inch iMac, they said, right?
I
I remember.
I don't remember, to be
I
honest.
believe they said it was a 21-inch iMac.
that they were
which
using,
is amazing.
which is great.
Yeah.
Lost my train of thought there for a second, but Metal 2, that's what I was talking about.
Yep.
Really great, and they seem to be focusing a lot more on gaming now.
Yep.
Which is really awesome. I would love, and then you said this too. You could finish my sentence for me.
Oh, good. There we go. No,
Wow.
I think it's cool. I mean,
No, you're supposed to talk about Overwatch.
oh, Overwatch. Yeah. No, that's
I'm
actually,
kidding.
that's the exact same thing I was talking about.
That's why I said, finish my sentence. Overwatch. I thought
Never
we were
mind.
thinking
Overwatch.
the same thing
The funny part about Overwatch is that Blizzard makes pretty much every game
for
for
both.
Mac and PC. And this past one, they're like, you know what? We have to wait until we can fully support it on Mac with like the software and that kind of stuff, which kind of makes me believe that they knew this was coming.
Yeah, because
So we're on to you, Overwatch.
please
We're on to
soon.
Yeah, I really want that on there.
Yeah, it's just really awesome that to see this support finally. We're always the butt of the gaming community. Well, I say I do have both, but when it comes to gaming on a Mac, we're always the joke of everything.
Yeah, it's always behind.
So, it's cool to finally get that going, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much Metal is their direct comparison to DirectX, which is basically what made Windows so popular with
Yeah.
gaming. Because if you didn't know, Mac was actually a lot more popular with gaming way back in the
one
day,
point.
and then they kind of like flip flopped. But that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
They also released a new file system,
Yeah, that was really cool.
which is cool, which we have on our phones already.
Yeah.
But it's
not
going to
on
be
a
faster
computer.
rewrites and that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was also really excited about what was I really excited about? Oh, the with the pictures, like kind of like what do they call it again?
With photos?
Photos.
What about it?
They kept the photos, right? They didn't change the name.
Yeah, no, it's all photos.
Yeah, you can there's a lot more editing tools. It kind of reminded me of Lightroom a little bit from Adobe.
Yeah.
It's definitely not as advanced, but it was still pretty cool. Like you could do like change exposures, colors on there. They have their kind of little version of spot color, but it was still pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the coolest thing about it is when it was iPhoto and they switched over to Photos, they kind of removed a lot of utilities and tools that you used to be able to use. So to me, I used to use Aperture a lot. It looks like they kind of threw a lot of Aperture stuff into it.
They got rid of that,
which is
didn't
cool.
they? Aperture?
Yeah, Aperture got discontinued a while
Yeah.
ago. But it seemed like they put a lot of the utilities and stuff that Aperture had back
Yeah,
into
which is
Photos,
good
which is
because
cool.
that was a shame. Because no disrespect to Lightroom, but I really don't want to have to pay monthly for a service.
Yeah, I'd rather just buy it once.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of the way everything's going.
Yeah, they refreshed the iMac line. That was bigger. They did refresh the MacBook Pro line, but it wasn't really much. I mean, just like the rumors, they got the Kaby Lake processors, which are the newest generation Intel processors. They got a slight graphics bump. They didn't even announce it at the.
Dude, we're still on Sierra. We missed out on some stuff.
Oh, we were just talking about the basics.
No, I know. No, so actually, sorry to cut fell off.
Damn.
But the other cool thing about Photos is if you go to export a photo into like, I don't know, whatever application for editing, like Photoshop or Lightroom, that kind of thing, it actually allows you to work on that file brings all the settings over and then
Mhm.
puts it back into your photos library,
Yeah, that
which
was
is
really
cool
cool.
because you don't need to have multiple copies all over your computer, delete them, put them back in. That's really cool.
Yeah, that I like.
The other
That
thing
gets
that they
annoying.
didn't announce, which I think is amazing, is iCloud file sharing. You can
Oh
now
yeah, that's
physically
right.
select a file and send a link to somebody, and they could work on whatever is in that folder for you and just have access to that folder, which is cool because Dropbox has been doing that for a long time and
Finally have it.
finally going on the
Oh,
Macs.
and I missed one more thing too. Actually, video coding
Oh yeah,
is different now.
that
The
was a
new
big one too.
standard was 8.25,
Yeah, it's 265.
265. Sorry. Basically, it's going to allow for better rendering in 4K, and it's supposed to be, I think you said 40% less
Yeah,
or 40%
40%
less
smaller for
smaller,
streaming,
which that's awesome. Like videos take up so much space on hard
especially
drives.
here. What was it?
Yeah,
2 hours of footage is like 500 gigs.
no, more like 40 minutes of footage is like,
Yeah,
well, no, I think 40 minutes of footage was like almost 300
in
gigabytes.
4K on the setup that we
But
have.
we also, yeah, we recorded ProRes, which was a lot more than I thought it was gonna be,
It eats data.
but a lot of
So if you do
data.
this at home, buy a terabyte hard drive.
Yeah, don't, yeah,
Not a 500.
because it's pretty annoying.
Yep.
Um,
So Max.
yes, Max, which I jumped the gun on a little too soon. Whoops. But like I was saying, it was small graphics bump to the MacBook Pros. They got like the newer generation Radeon line, but from what I saw, it wasn't really anything
It's not that
great.
substantial. And then the KB like processor.
Yeah, that was the more substantial upgrade. The price dropped a little bit. The Max model, I believe, is $200 cheaper than what it used to be. Because you used to be able to get the
Um,
updated model for $27.99, and then to upgrade the graphics card,
yeah,
there's an extra $300,
the base
$200.
models that they sell at the stores at like Best Buy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Those are going to be the same price that they
those are the
were,
same,
but you're
but
getting a higher card.
exactly.
That's basically what's happening with that one. Although they did add a new 13-inch into the mix for $12.99, which I'm assuming is going to replace the old 13-inch
The
Retina,
old, yeah,
which was $12.99, same price.
yeah.
So I guess they're just
It
continuing
just
that one.
it's cheaper. I'm correct on that, right? It's cheaper to get the fully spec'd out model though,
Yeah, technically, because they don't have a
because
higher.
you can't upgrade the
They,
graphics
yeah,
card
they don't have a
past.
higher option for the highest end
Gotcha.
video card, so you get it. So yeah, cheaper than what I paid.
And say, we just got the last one. I mean, we did this for ourselves. We knew this was coming.
Yeah, like honestly, before all this happened, Phil and I were having a conversation, and I'm like, I swear to God, if they put like a 1080 or a 1070 in this thing, I'm going to throw my Mac out a window and buy a new one.
And I thought you were actually gonna do it.
I
Like
thought
he
it was
was
going to
gonna
happen
do
because I
it.
mean they released the drivers not too long ago and that kind of stuff for the NVIDIA cards,
Yeah,
and I'm like I'm gonna hate myself. I'm totally gonna hate myself, and well they kind of let us down,
yeah.
which is a good thing because I
Which
don't
is
have
a
to
good
buy
thing because
anything.
now we don't have to sell our Mac that we just. Well, I just bought. You got it right when it came out, right?
Yeah, I got it. Well, it took forever to come, but
Yeah, I got. Well, I got mine not too long ago. I don't think
nah.
like January, February.
And then they also brighter displays now too.
Yay.
Yeah, not on the MacBooks though. That's on the
That's on the
iMacs.
iMacs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Thunderbolt 3 they did on the iMacs
then 4K on all the
on
models,
all of
right?
them.
Yeah,
Standard fusion drives on all of them.
on all the
All the
27-inch, I thought.
You're right, 27-inch
Yeah,
iMacs, which is really cool.
and then the highest model base 21-inch
Yeah,
is gonna be Fusion Drive.
fusion
which I didn't
drive,
have.
which is awesome, which is nice. You don't have to pay for that as a premium anymore.
That's not bad, and they're
And
using the newer solid states too, so they're actually faster Fusion drives than they had before.
yeah, it's really nice.
It's pretty cool.
And again, the Thunderbolt 3 is going to be cool. Brighter displays,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
for the iMacs they did
yeah,
the Thunderbolt 3,
which is going to be really nice.
and then the MacBooks they said they only updated the flash storage for faster, right?
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, just the regular MacBooks, which is
Not
kinda-
yeah, the regular, not the.
that's a lame update.
Yeah, I honestly thought they were going to discontinue the Airs.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rumors about that.
Yeah, I mean but it's on their website. They didn't really
No,
announce
they still
anything
sell it.
about it. Yeah.
They didn't do anything with it, as far as I know.
So that's pretty cool. What I'm most excited about.
Oh, here we go.
So I was expecting personally a new Mac Pro announcement. It's crazy that like never at any point did the thought of an iMac Pro cross my mind.
Yeah,
Out of all, like it should have,
there was rumors.
but I hadn't really looked too far into it recently because I've been busy with stuff. But
Yeah,
when they announced an iMac Pro, it was just like mind blown. Like we were watching it together, I overreacted.
I mean, I just
the
like
Apple
Space
sheep
Gray.
that I am. No, it looks
That's-
really nice.
It looks so nice.
Even the keyboard
it's just the nice dark screen with the gray and the.
looks fantastic.
It's amazing.
I will say I found that like you pointed this out first though, but notice how they were comparing pricing on a lot of things. They did it first on the iMac, where it'd be
Yeah,
like it
that
would
was
normally
weird.
cost $7,000 to build a PC with these specs, but we're gonna give it starting at 5,000.
It
They did that a
seems like they
couple
have a different
things.
marketing scheme now.
Yeah, they never did
It's
that
they're
before.
going after cheap people, I guess.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
I
know.
thought it was a little weird, but I was like, oh, I'm sure they've done it before. But then you brought that up.
I've never seen them do that.
Yeah,
It seemed like a game show,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
it's Apple's always been kind of targeting the premium market, premium products for a premium market. But I do think it's nice to appease those people that always think it's overpriced.
Yeah,
I think that might kind of be their new plan. But man, this thing looks nice, and the
it's awesome.
video editing on this is gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, and the cool thing too is now that they're doing the external GPU, right? Like before, like when you were
Oh
thinking Mac
yeah,
Pro, like original Mac Pro, right?
yeah.
The advantage was you could upgrade the video card, you could upgrade the RAM.
Mhm.
No one really upgraded the processor. You could,
You
but
can,
people
but
didn't really do it. This is epic. Like you don't really need to upgrade the processor. The RAM, I don't know. It looks like they moved in a different
looks
location.
like you can't.
So I don't know if you're going to be able to actually upgrade it, but who knows?
We
We'll
don't
figure
know.
it out when it
The
comes
one
out.
thing, and I think you pointed this out too when we were watching yesterday. The one, and I've seen a lot of this, a lot of buzz around this on Twitter too. And the one thing is, while whether even if they're correct, which they are correct about the price point wise, it is cheaper originally.
Hmm.
When you buy and build your own PC, the one argument I have against Apple on that is if you want to upgrade the individual parts, like if a new graphics card comes out, you could upgrade the graphics card.
Yeah,
You could upgrade different components of it, and it's no problem. You really can't do that, especially if the way it's looking like you're really not going to be able to do that as easily on this,
you
if at
can't.
all.
But if you have external GPU support, that's the main thing people upgrade. You
Yeah,
know?
the one thing I'm concerned though, and you pointed out yesterday too, is it actually going to be the same as internal?
No, I mean it's not going to be like putting a PCI Express card in.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as fast as that. But again, like if you have a gaming computer, you're mostly just upgrading the graphics card. You're not really doing much more than that. I am shocked that they didn't go liquid cooling, to be honest. If you want something
Mm,
really cool in a small form factor, I think that would have been a lot better. I don't know how you
it
feel on
doesn't
that
seem
one.
it. It would be nice. Don't get me wrong. I just don't. If they, I mean, if they have a style, it doesn't seem like their style.
To do liquid cool. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, they developed a new dual fan system to cool it off, but I'm just saying, like something that small, you would think you do liquid cooling.
Yeah, it would be great. That would be fantastic.
It'd
I mean, the
run a
thing
lot
too, though,
smoother.
I love Apple products. I own a lot of them myself. You do too. But and of course, he helped me do it because I wouldn't have been able to do it on my own, even though it actually wasn't as hard as I thought. But a couple months ago, we spec'd out and built a computer for myself, and we liquid cooled it, and just the whole process was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Like you can't,
especially when Phil orders the wrong size parts because he doesn't measure.
whatever. Yeah, I ordered
3 different cases.
yeah. So we were liquid cooling and we were doing the GPU and the CPU. So I ordered the, if you know about computer cases, the NZXT S340 Elite because I loved the tempered glass design. I just really liked the case, and we couldn't get everything to fit. So on like impulse, and I was pretty pissed off. I just ordered the H440, not realizing that all the bays out on the front aren't removable. You have to like solder them, and I didn't want to go through that work. So I ended up going with one of the Fantex N3 Evolve ATX, whatever. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't
But like that was fun. That's the one thing you don't have on these. But I mean, I'm getting this.
know.
Like
Please don't get it, Phil.
I'm like video editing on this. It's
Yeah,
gonna
but
be phenomenal.
$5,000, man, and that's for the base.
That's when you sell your lung or something, or your kidney. You only need one, right?
That's the base.
Yeah, that's true. It's
You
probably gonna
know,
be like 7,000 to
it's gonna be more than
10,000
that. I mean,
for one that you want.
how much was the old Pro?
I don't remember. Hold on,
I
it might
want to
still be
say
on the
that
Apple
was.
website.
I want to say that started out
What
as 5.
I think it started at 3,500. I don't know why I want to say that,
I
but
know they price dropped it recently, so whatever you look up is going to be less than it
yeah,
originally was. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was slightly cheaper. But then again, like you're getting a 5K display,
yeah,
speakers, and everything.
yeah. I just thought that was really cool personally. I wasn't expecting that announcement.
Yeah, and I'm excited about the number pad on the wireless keyboard.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why they got rid of that. Like
I hope they are going to sell it separately. I hope they sell it separately in space gray.
they sell it separately. I don't know if I saw Space Gray or not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They do sell it separately, but I
It's
hope
only
they
in
do
the
it in
white though.
I
Right?
hope they end up doing it in space gray.
They're not going to.
Like when that comes out.
I don't think they're going to. It's Apple.
Yeah, but that would be awesome.
No, it's like class, you know. Like you got to buy the really expensive thing to get that. It's same thing like iPhone,
Cheap.
right? Jet Black. You can only get that in the higher models.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm
Very
telling you,
true.
you're not gonna be able to get it.
Which is all the more reason for me to buy this.
You need to be the elite to get that one.
Yeah, so I'll sell a kidney. What else could I sell?
I don't know, half the equipment you bought.
My leg. Oh god. Fun times.
Did you find out the price on that yet? Or
No, it's not. Oh, nope. Yep, not loading.
whatever. All right, so iOS 11,
Yeah.
pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed, but
the new dock is awesome. They've been needing that because slide over sucked.
is that just for iPad though?
That they didn't really release anything for the phone because
Yeah.
obviously that's in September.
Coming up soon.
I'm sure they're
Wink.
gonna rework some stuff on that too. But I don't know. The new what do they call it? Launchpad Control Center.
Control
Center.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, you didn't like it. I mean, a lot of people didn't like it, like the general consensus people didn't really like it. I'm indifferent about it.
It just
I
looks
don't really care.
weird. I mean,
I got past that real quickly.
they didn't show it on the phone though, right? Or did they? I don't remember.
I
I
it was the
just
phone,
Apple.
remember? Because they had
they did.
the edges cut and were like foreshadowing.
Oh yeah, if you look at that, the top and the bottom of the phone you couldn't see, which was really funny.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that until you brought it up.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But no, I mean the most thing that I use Control Center for, honestly, the brightness, the volume. I use it to pause and play music, skip through that kind of stuff. But the biggest thing I use it for is I have Hue lights.
Yeah.
So I use Apple HomeKit and swipe over and press it, and it looks like it's configurable, but I don't know. It just looks a lot messier than it did before. I kind
Sorry.
of like the cards.
Laughing at the Hue lights because I'm just thinking I have them also and I never actually use them. I always just do it manually.
Seriously?
Like half the time I'm like, Alexa, turn on my room, and it's like, we're not connected because I have them like off.
Okay. Yeah, no, I use Alexa most of the time, but when
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I'll
Yeah,
use
when
my
you
phone.
sometimes when it's morning and you don't feel like speaking or doing anything for that matter.
Yeah, but slide over sucks. I don't know if you've ever used it.
No.
When you try to select the app that you want to use, you had to slide from the right to the left, and then you had to go from the top to the bottom
Wait, what do you mean?
when you're multitasking on the iPad.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And then you had to pull down from the bottom, and then you had to like literally scroll through every single app to find it, which is stupid. Now it's beautiful.
Yeah, I like they needed that for it.
And if you notice too, it's not slide over anymore either. It's page on top of page.
I saw that,
which
especially
is awesome.
For the longest time. Like I mean, I used an iPad when I first went to college, and then I ended up selling it. 6 months in? Because I was just like, this is a giant iPhone. I mean, I didn't have a use for it. It was supposed to be like in between, like a phone and a computer. Remember that whole marketing thing when it first came out? But I ended up not using it. It was just dead most of the time, sitting in my room.
See, I found mine awesome for college because I put all my books on PDFs.
Well, none of my I took online I took hybrid classes.
Okay, so I didn't have them.
None of my iPad didn't support the program I used.
I mean, I loved it.
I'm sure it would have been nice, but at that point, I believe I switched to the MacBook Air at that point, and
pretty much
that was fine for me. Yeah, because especially by the I was using a keyboard attached to the iPad. It was the same thing.
Cool.
And rant.
Yeah, right. Well, now with the I'm not really on that yet, but the new iPad full size keyboard apparently for that extra slight bit of an inch that they added to it. Who really knows? But yeah, there's that. They added a whole new AR platform.
That was
onto iOS. Which it looked super smooth. I mean, obviously it's the one that Apple made. It's a demo and all that kind of stuff. But that looked amazing.
I'm gonna contradict everything I said in my first podcast. Give me contact lenses.
Yeah, you want them?
AR contact lenses, not like video recording contact lenses.
I guess.
Or even like you said it, like regular, or I don't know if it was you that said it. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday about it. Think like Google Glass, but they actually look like glasses.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah.
Or it might have been. I might be stealing that from some YouTuber I saw yesterday. I don't remember.
Yeah, who knows?
Sorry.
Just go down that rabbit hole.
But I like your idea, whoever I stole that from.
No, but how cool is AR like that? Like that. Honestly, that's a feature. I think VR is stupid.
Yeah, I disagree with you on that.
Because you don't get motion sickness with this either.
If you follow the steps correctly, I mean, there's some people that always get motion sickness no matter what. I get it.
Yeah.
But if you follow the steps correctly, so I'll use the Oculus as an example. There's different comfort levels. light. I forgot what the it's not light. It's or comfortable, moderate, extreme. They actually tell you not to use extreme. For I forgot what the number of days are or hours of use or whatever.
to get used to it.
I said screw you and I did it anyways. And I don't get motion sickness. I played Project Cars. I had to go lay down and take a nap
Yeah.
because I got like not sick but just really disoriented from it. I think VR is awesome. It gives you something that you won't be able to get in AR, but I do think AR is cooler with what you could do with it. Because although think about when you were
Mm.
kids, like pretending to like do stuff,
But you can still do that with AR. It's just in
that's
the
what I'm
confines of your
saying.
home. But it's also safer too because it's on top of what's around you.
That's what I'm saying.
know?
I'm saying I think AR is still cooler than VR.
Oh, I thought you
But
said VR.
no, but VR I think still has its place because there's certain things you could do with VR.
Yeah.
Like you can't really replicate a whole world around you with AR at the current state that it is.
Yeah.
If it gets to that point, hell yeah.
Oh, it's totally gonna get there. It's just
It's a
freaking
matter
amazing.
of when.
And like what I found really amazing was how well it locked onto the table.
Yeah, that
I
was
mean,
really
they picked a specific point. He moved around, and that spot did not move.
That was very impressive.
It's not like he was using cue cards or anything either. It was just a regular table that it locked on, which is amazing. And
really
the
impressive.
board games, like, come on, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's like Monopoly.
You want to
for
play like
life.
Life or something? Like you could literally just aim it at
Yo,
your
I have
table
not
and the whole
played
thing just
Life
comes out.
in years, and that's all I wanted to do since I was like
It's a game that never
12.
ends.
I know.
It
That's
never
why it was
ends.
great.
Yeah,
Just-
but AR is just freaking amazing, which is cool because Apple seems to really be focusing on gaming and that kind of stuff now, which
I'm
gonna be
excited
awesome.
about.
super excited. Siri got an update. Supposedly it sounds better. To me, I could not hear a difference. I don't know if you could.
Yeah, I did, but I was really
Yeah, they kind of need
out of
to
all the things to
upgrade on it.
upgrade the voice. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a step in the right direction where you want it to sound more like a real person, but
Yeah, but I also wanted to act like a real
make
person.
it useful. No offense.
I don't want to say like how much is this product, and then it just goes, oh, here's your web results for.
Yeah, every
how much
time,
is this
almost
product?"
every time I use Siri, I get frustrated.
Yeah, like when it first came out, it was awesome because like they kind of like pushed certain keywords that you use and stuff, and it worked really well. But now, I mean, I could tell my Alexa pretty much anything, it'll come up.
Yeah,
And Alexa has app-based things too, so she's constantly expanding. Where
Exactly.
Siri's just kind of, I mean,
they have
Siri is
updates,
expanding,
but
it's not like you could choose what you want to load into it.
I get annoyed. You'll be like, "Hey Siri," and then the mic comes up, and then it just stops mid talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't stop talking. Yeah,
Although
I just get frustrated.
I will say though, if they are doing anything with Siri, they may actually be holding off till September with the new phone. Because do you use Siri that much on your iPad?
sense.
Right? You don't really use it that much. You use it more on your phone.
I never use it on my Mac.
Yeah. Oh my god! I removed the button off my touch bar because I kept hitting it by
Probably
accident.
should.
Super annoying.
The only time I did when I first got it, when I wear headphones in it, I have like the mute
three
button
button?
or whatever,
Yeah.
and if it hits the center button and there's no application, or if it holds it down or anything by accident, like if it gets caught under your computer, it just turns it on. It's the most annoying thing.
Yeah. Leave Siri on the iPhone or the watch.
Yeah.
Another really cool thing, which I think is awesome, is they kind of expanded live photos. So if you take a live photo and you want to replicate certain things like a
You
long
could-
exposure,
Yeah,
it'll automatically you click the filter pretty much and it'll make it into that, which is freaking awesome.
yeah, that's really cool. And also with that, you could kind of select what point of the photo you want to keep. Think of like a burst.
Yeah. So if you ever did burst on your iPhone, it always shows you what it thinks is the most perfectly exposed photo, and you could go hit edit and choose the one you want. You can now do that with live photo.
Yeah,
where to start,
honestly,
where to
I
end.
thought that should have been included right from the start.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah, honestly, and someone, a friend texted me once asking me how to do that, and I was like, oh, like I'm thinking to myself, just go in there and you could do it, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't figure it out. I thought I was stupid. I look it up, and you just really can't. Like,
Yeah,
there's third-party
that's
apps
weird.
that could kind of do it, but they never really worked that great anyway.
No, it's just it's
So I think
strange.
that's awesome.
And you know what's funny is like the first issue they had where people were like juggling the phone, so they take the picture and then they wouldn't wait the full amount of time and then like move it. So at the end it would just be like a
Yeah, it'll
blur.
yeah,
So they came up with a software solution for that. But I mean, I get it. They don't want you to like interface with it, but
yeah.
it would have been like easier fix to do that. Also, they released a new type of picture format, so it takes up a lot less storage,
Yeah,
but still as high quality, kind of like what they did with the
what
video,
they did with video.
which is pretty cool.
All those Twitter hashtags, RIP JPEG,
All right, now
when that was going on.
my favorite thing.
Oh yeah.
Peer-to-peer Apple Pay, otherwise known as Pay Friends with Apple Pay.
RIP Venmo. What?
Yeah, Venmo's gone. I'm
Sorry. Yeah.
It is awesome. The coolest thing about it, I think, is like if I pay you, it goes to like a prepaid card kind of, but you could still make transactions with it. You
Yeah,
could
like
you could of course put
you
it back to your bank,
but you could use it as like Apple Pay.
which means you could use it right away. Which
Yeah,
is
it's wonderful.
Venmo, you can't do that as far as
Yeah,
I know.
Venmo takes a
I mean,
while.
you could pay other people, but you can't actually purchase things with it. That is awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna use that all the
that
freaking
all the
time.
time. I like deleting Venmo that day.
Oh yeah, Venmo, cash, goodbye. You're all gone.
Don't forget to transfer it onto your bank account, everyone.
And I mean, I may be wrong about this, but I feel like it's more secure too, because if it goes with the same protocol where it only uses the ID once, you can't kind of hack. Well, I'm sure someone can, but
Yeah,
it
I
seems
mean,
a bit more
for me,
secure.
I'm sure it is, but I've never had any problems.
And you can do it right from messages,
Oh yeah, that's right. I
which
forgot
is
about
cool. Like if someone says, "Hey, you owe me this amount of money," it'll
that. You
actually
could
come
just
up with the
do.
option.
There's
to
an
say,
option to say, yeah.
That is so cool because I'm just gonna text Phil that all the time. Just kidding. He buys everything. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And then the one thing that we kind of, I guess, disagree on
Yeah.
is a do not disturb while driving.
Well, not disagree, but well, you make your point.
Yeah. So my point is when they were showing this on the TV. I don't know if you guys watched this or not, but check it out anyway. They're like, "Oh, this is CarPlay, and we know a lot of cars don't have CarPlay, so we want to do something special for you." So here I am, like,
We're
"Oh,
like,
this
oh
is
my god,
awesome."
CarPlay on like directly on the iPhone
Yeah,
screen.
it's gonna be like 6 buttons, just big on the screen. You don't really have to interface with it that much. You could use Siri, you could use speakerphone, that kind of stuff. It's gonna be awesome. And then they're like, "Do not disturb for car," and I'm
We're
like,
just like, really?
"That is so stupid." Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great idea. You should be blocking out drivers so they don't play. Because honestly, I drive, I see people on the phone all the time. It's
Always.
ridiculous. They almost hit you. Sometimes they hit you. Like,
Yeah, if I'm behind someone, like if I'm anywhere around someone, I try just to get out of that situation.
yeah, people just don't pay attention. They get too involved with their phones and that kind of stuff. So it's a
It's
great idea.
ridiculous.
But the issue is, are these people actually going to use it? I think responsible people are, but responsible people aren't going to text while they're driving.
I think most people. So here's where we agree and don't agree. So I completely think the best solution, as you do, is to offer CarPlay right on the phone. You eliminate the need for an expensive head unit,
Yeah.
which most people aren't going to get because a lot of cars have those touchscreen interfaces standard nowadays. So no one's going to upgrade their units, and a lot of people can because the HVAC whatever stuff is already.
Well, they have solutions now. Actually, certain cars
Well,
you can plug
certain
in certain
ones.
harnesses and that kind of stuff. Yeah, but
But like yours can't, right? Or did they
mine
finally
can't.
come
Yeah,
out for
mine's
one?
2014, so like just missed.
Well, that's
Like,
what I'm
newer
saying.
cars can.
No one's gonna like that would be the best solution. But what they came out with, like you said, responsible people would. But I don't see most people going through the trouble. However, the
Yeah.
one thing, like I'm gonna see myself using it, not even for the fact of being like responsible or whatever, but I like that it auto replies.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's the one part I could see people being okay with because this isn't new. They've had stuff like this with either third party apps, third party hardware, even. And
Oh yeah, that thing that you plug into the
yeah,
OBD port. Yeah.
a lot of them don't auto respond that you are in a do not disturb mode or in a driving mode.
Yep.
And then people get concerned because they're like, oh, no one will know. They'll think, if I'm making plans or something and I'm already on the way, they'll just think I'm not responding. So that I do like, and I could see people using it for that reason. That's like the one reason I will use it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll use it, but the people that are out there currently,
I don't
they're
think that
not
was the
gonna
best
use it.
solution.
And honestly, I know you also can't force this on people because then they'll start boycotting your product because they think it's ridiculous and all this kind of stuff, even though it's illegal to do that in your car. But
Depending on your state, actually, you'd think it would
is it
be
state?
everywhere.
Oh, I thought it was everywhere. Anyway,
I could be wrong. I thought it was state, but
yeah, probably is state. Or why don't you sell an iPad Mini that has CarPlay built into that I leave permanently in my car, and my phone just Bluetooth connects to it and controls that way, or Wi-Fi connects. That would be even smarter. But this, honestly, good step, but it's not going to happen.
like with the hype
Unless,
they were
like-
making, I thought unless
someone
iPhone-
makes it legal. Maybe like whoever does the car safety stuff comes out with a law saying that,
That
you
would
have to
be-
use it.
that would be great. I think,
That would be cool.
and I know they've tested this or done some sort of either reporting on this, something like that, but where you get in your car and your phone like detect, when it connects via Bluetooth, it automatically shuts down
Yeah.
or it goes into a similar mode. That would be good, I think.
I think that would be wonderful. I mean, of course, if something happens and you need to call like
Well, you
emergency
can
services or something, there should still be a way to get out of it to do that.
with that
but-
there's an option, so you could set like an emergency mode where certain phone numbers will come through no matter what.
Yeah, and that should happen. But no, I mean like in the car. Like if you get into a car accident, and you need to call
Oh,
911
gotcha,
or something.
gotcha.
Obviously, you should still have something to do that.
I'm sure
Um,
there'll be like a number, that emergency button you hit all the time, or when you're like
yeah,
running,
when
you have
you're
your
like on the
phone in
lock
your,
screen,
yeah.
that should still be accessible. But if you guys have any advice on that or have any good ideas,
Yeah.
feel free to let us know because this is definitely something that needs to happen because it's getting kind of ridiculous. And obviously, tickets aren't really happening. I mean, I don't know about your state, but New Jersey originally it was like a $200 fine, and now I
So
heard first offense like almost
so
$1,000
it's
now.
in where you live, it's like 750 or something crazy like that.
Is it?
Yeah, they had so
I don't even know.
depend. They had like, you know how they have like those signs on the road that are like,
Yeah,
click it or ticket, whatever, save a life, don't drink and drive, um, don't text and drive, you $750 fine or you kill
damn.
someone, something like that.
Yeah, so
They're not
it's gone
kidding.
up a
It's
lot, but people are still doing it because
yeah.
people are so connected to their
Well,
devices.
they're connected and they don't realize how distracted you actually are because they're like, oh, like I'm still paying attention, but really
Yeah, you're not. I
you're
mean,
not.
if you're going so fast, it takes a while to stop. Like you should not be on your phone. I don't know. People are crazy.
I'll say I wish traditional. I I would love remember. I don't know if you ever had like those T9 phones or even like a QWERTY keyboard phone that was portrait like a BlackBerry. You could type on that without looking. That would be. I'm kidding. Don't do
Don't do
that.
that. Just don't do
Just
it.
don't do it.
Cool new things too, which is pretty awesome. AirPlay 2, you can now control multiple devices at the same time.
Sonos, they're coming after your
Goodbye,
brand.
Sonos.
No,
Now
I don't.
they're probably
No.
gonna make AirPlay speakers for them.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
probably what's
think
gonna happen.
Sonos is way too big and too great.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously these work with AirPlay, so they have to have
Yeah.
that on the device. So they're gonna sell the devices. Apple themselves won't. Well, we'll get to that.
I
But
was like, you sure about that?
yeah, but I mean that's kind of cool. I mean, kind of what they're going for. And another thing I saw, iOS 11, you could screen record directly on the phone without plugging anything in, which is a new feature which a lot of people were waiting for,
Well, I didn't
which is gonna be
miss
really
that.
cool for making videos and how tos and that kind of stuff. They didn't announce it. It was actually they had like the slide that said iOS 11 and like a bunch of like
Oh,
words
well, all the
around it.
stuff came up there.
That was one of them, which is kind of cool. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff too. We don't know exactly yet. We know the beta is coming out, and guys, please, if you're just like an average user, do not download the beta. Betas are meant for testing bugs, which means they're loaded with bugs, which means your phone's
Yeah.
not going to work right. And I don't know about you, but like so many of my friends download it and then complain about how
Yeah.
crappy Apple is because their phone
It's
sucks.
terrible.
And I look at their phone and they're on a beta. It's like that's exactly why they have betas, people.
Yeah. Well, we both used to work in the retail mobile phone industry and drove me nuts.
It drives us absolutely like literally grandmothers come in and they're like, I hate this. This is a piece of crap. Like, ma'am, why are you on the first beta? What's a beta? Oh, my grandchild put that on because they wanted to see it. You just
Yeah,
don't do it.
they knew what they were doing. They wanted to screw their grandma over by doing it.
Just don't screw your grandmothers over, people. Okay, it's just not cool.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand it's cool to check out, but don't if you're not intending on actually using it for.
Yeah, don't do it as your
testing.
main phone because
Yeah, if
you
you have
may
a
even
second
lose
phone
stuff.
or
I've seen people lose pictures
Yeah.
and messages and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we had someone number one. I mean, I guess you do you, but they had like the majority of their wedding pictures on a phone, and they did that,
Yeah,
and I was just like, oh,
you're asking for it. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Do it if you have a secondary device. That's fine. If you have an iPhone and an iPad and you want to see the new iOS, put it on your iPad. If you
yeah,
don't use it
whatever
that
one you
often.
use less often.
Just don't put it on your main device. Not cool.
Not a good idea.
But anyway, that brings us to the new
Mhm.
iPad Pro, which is an inch bigger.
Yeah, I was like not impressed, but then I got impressed because I jumped the gun. I started tweeting out like not impressed, and I got like a bunch of retweets on that. I'm like, oh crap, this is gonna cause some crap. But then I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm starting to take it back a little bit.
So
I started to dig it.
the processor is amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
They said it was a quad core. No, it was more than that. I don't know.
I don't
It had a
remember.
crap ton of cores. I'm gonna try to find it now. But brighter display, 120 hertz. Which
Yeah,
is
that was
pretty
cool.
interesting. I'm not sure if the Macs even have that.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know.
But while you're doing
cool.
that, I'm gonna see if I could pull up because all I want is Final Cut Pro on an iPad. But if that already exists, I'm buying an iPad.
If what?
Final Cut Pro
On the iPad?
Yeah, I don't think it does.
exists. I know they have iMovie.
Yeah,
That's really about it. But yeah, faster processor, bigger screen. Apparently, which they didn't say, it also has more RAM. I think it has 4 gigs of RAM, which is what the 12.9-inch iPad had. So it's going to be really good with multitasking. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's the software more that made a difference, right? So now you have the Apple Pencil. Apparently, it's more accurate because the refresh rate's higher, so it's going to be a lot more smoother. You have the OneNote thing where you just tap on the screen and notes come up and you can start writing, which I think is awesome, especially if you're in school and taking notes and stuff
I
like
like
that.
that.
That's pretty cool. Like we said, the dock was redesigned, so like that kind of stuff I think is going to work a lot
I really
better.
like you were talking about it before. The multitasking for me is like they finally, I think, got it right. I mean, again, I haven't seen it yet, but from what it
Yeah,
looks like,
it sounds like they got it
they got
right.
it right for once. I'm sorry, not for once. Finally, is the right
I don't know
term.
if it's finally. They keep changing everything. I mean, hey, look at Apple Music. That thing sucks.
Yeah, they were like raving about it. I mean, I just don't really use it.
I think the interface is horrible.
But even I remember I
I
mostly
don't
use
know.
Tidal nowadays, and I used to have my library, which I hadn't updated in years anyway, but I still listen to it. And I remember when they updated it to that new interface, it was kind of hard to get your stuff. Everything was just the Apple
It's
Music
just
where it's
weird.
streaming.
It's in a weird spot.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan, but again, I don't use it. I can't comment as much. I don't
Instant
see the big
markup
deal.
is
Mm.
probably my favorite feature on the
Mm-hmm.
planet. So when you take a screenshot now, you could actually resize the area of the screen that you want to do instantly after you
That
take
was
the screenshot,
wonderful.
because it comes up like a little thumbnail in the bottom left. That's amazing, because I mean, I was sending stuff back and forth to Phil, I think today even, and actually one of my other friends too I was sending
Yeah.
to. I kept screenshotting it, going to photos, going to edit them, put them back, put them in the message, go into markup, highlight the thing I'm talking about. This saves so much time. It's awesome. And you can now take pictures of your documents and scan them in, which is amazing. I mean, there's other apps that did that, but they weren't that great. This one, it literally just sees a paper,
R.I.P.
automatically
Neat
goes around.
Desk.
Yeah, Neat Desk, Genio Scanner. There's so many different ones that it replaces.
Apple's going after all of them this
Yeah,
time
they
around.
they're trying to go into everybody, but it's just awesome. You can now do inline drawing too in Notes, which
Yeah, I saw
before it was
that.
kind of weird. Like you hit I want a
'Cause,
note, and it added a page, and then you drew whatever, and then it made it like smaller on that page. And now it's actually in
it's
the
kind of
physical note.
stupid.
Yeah, it's horrible. And now they have searchable handwriting too. So it looks like they're really going after like college kids or business professionals that take a lot of notes, which I don't know. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love it. And now the keyboard apparently is just full size.
Well,
And whatever. But yeah, then Files. They came out with Files. Forgot to talk about that too, which is pretty much iCloud Drive, but you could hook up your other online storage to it.
yeah, it's
I thought it was going to be better than that. I thought you were actually going to have access to your cache files
cool.
finally,
Yeah, everything.
but no.
Maps got a pretty cool update.
Oh yeah, with the malls and stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
lane guidance. Thank you. I mean, I always use Google Maps for that, not just for that reason, but I does Apple Maps show you like times with traffic now and stuff? Because I don't think they did at the
Don't quote me on
beginning.
this, but I don't think they do.
Yeah, that's honestly why I use Google Maps. Only because when my old like field of work, I had to drive to a lot of different locations where I didn't know the area whatsoever. So I'd look it up and be like, "Cool, it's an hour away." Thinking, but then you always know there's traffic, so I'd pull it up in one. It would be it's an hour away. I'd look it up in the other. No, it's an hour and 48 minutes. Like leave now. And for me, they need to do that, and I'll
Yeah,
start
they
using
need
it.
to update that a
I
little bit
hate
more
though.
too.
It would make it so much more convenient because I have a car that supports CarPlay, so I would love to just plug it in and I could just use the native Maps feature. So I'm using Google Maps, so that does nothing for me.
Yeah.
So
Well, it depends on what CarPlay you have though, because certain CarPlays support Apple Maps.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Mine's
you only supports Apple Maps.
it doesn't support Google
Okay, I
Maps,
got you.
so I don't use Apple Maps because it doesn't tell me. Like I believe it gives you traffic information, but it doesn't update the times,
Got you.
which is useless to me.
Other cool thing I forgot to mention about wow, lost track multitasking on the iPad. You could drag now across multiple screens. So if you want to add
Oh,
a
so
picture
if you
in,
want to
that's
like
kind of big
drag
too.
a picture from let me drag a picture from your photos into an email.
Yep. It's you
So
can just
you,
have the screens side by side and drag and drop, just kind of like you would on a computer, which is kind of cool. And then the other most amazing thing ever is now your messages.
hold on,
saved
I'm
across
sorry. I have
devices.
to cut you off for a second.
What's up?
So this is turning into so when before the conference started, we're like, let's take a drink every time they say the most amazing ever aluminium what else was it? The biggest ever, the fastest
Yeah,
ever.
machine learning.
And now you sound just like that right now. The
All right.
other best thing ever.
Well, there's some cool things, but messages now sync across your devices. So when you delete them on your phone, it actually deletes them off your iPad.
Wink.
Also, if you like just happen to get an iPad after having a phone for so long, all your messages get transferred to your iPad.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That is awesome.
Because
This should
I'm
have happened
lazy.
years ago.
I'm lazy, and so I never actually back up my phone, even though it takes like no time at all. I just have my contacts and my photos backed up. Every time I get a new phone or something, I always just re-download all the apps. But the one thing I always like kick myself over is I lose all my messages.
Yeah.
So now for lazy people like me who don't want to click a button to back up your
It's
phone,
not even lazy. It's just you want to have stuff in sync. You don't want to have like certain messages
yeah,
on this and certain on
it's
this
annoying.
and like all over the place. It is awesome. And then they finally made a case that actually holds
Da,
your
da,
Apple
da,
Pencil.
da.
It's amazing. You know, you want to sell a product with something, you might as well sell something that holds both. But that's pretty much it for iPad. And then last operating
Certainly
system.
not least.
Yeah, not least. We have WatchOS, tvOS. They didn't announce anything on, but there is a new one coming out. Apparently, it's a
Beta.
lot of like back end developer stuff. Nothing like too crazy new features. But I'm sure, honestly, they're probably saving that for September too. You need to save some stuff, right?
Yeah.
So watch iOS 4. They have the Siri
Watch face.
watch face. Kind of cool, but kind of reminds me a lot like Google Cards. I don't know about you, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, during certain parts of the day, it tells you when you should be leaving for work, how traffic
I mean,
is.
when I had the Pixel briefly,
Yeah.
I liked that.
No, it's a cool feature, but definitely,
a little-
I'm with you guys. That was stolen from Google. I mean, it's on a watch.
I
but-
love how a lot of like people seriously like. I can understand like friendly discussions or even a little heated discussions over it. People on Twitter were literally like ripping each other apart over that. And then
Really?
everyone's defense was like, "Well, Google stole from them first." Like, who gives a crap?
Yeah.
I mean, I've personally never been
wait,
bought
they said
into any
Google
of that.
stole this first from Apple?
Well, not that they were like they stole so and so first from
who
Apple. Blah
cares?
blah blah. I'm like, you guys, like it reminds me of like the Xbox and PlayStation wars, which I'm sure happened. I just don't pay attention enough to any of that anymore to notice or care. But like, go on with your
Yeah,
life.
they just keep fighting. But no, honestly, that
I
was
mean, maybe that's just sheep talking, but whatever.
that was stolen from Google.
Mhm.
That totally was. Cool thing though, workout app. I mean, apparently you could start multiple exercises now without having to back out and go back in, but that's not really the cool part. The cool part is if you're playing music, you could set up a playlist to automatically start playing that music
when you start working
when you
out.
start the workout. And then when you're in the workout app, if you just swipe over from right to left, all your music controls are right there, which is basically what most people use it for.
Yeah, that would be awesome with your AirPods.
Yeah, I mean,
Which how they advertise it.
oh, they totally they advertise that. I'm not gonna lie though, I use my Apple Watch with my earpods all the time because I mean I'm in a certain place where I can't bring my phone into certain places.
Yeah.
I know it's very generic, but I can't really say. But anyway, I just have all my music on my watch and play through that when I'm there, so it's pretty cool. That's pretty much it. They added a couple more things like high intensity interval training. They put a couple more algorithms to see your cardio burn and that kind of stuff. They're probably coming out with new bands because that's what they do.
Europe.
And yeah, that's pretty much it for Apple Watch. They didn't really do too much, but
Yeah.
again, they're probably waiting till September. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you have the final announcement. This is Phil's favorite. I'm just kidding. I don't really think it's his favorite.
Nope.
The HomePod.
Yup.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you. No, I'm kidding.
How do you feel about that, Phil?
I'm not impressed. Only because I like the idea. If the audio's as good as they're hyping it up to be, I could potentially be a fan. But and again, this is just my opinion. I'll make that clear. Siri sucks. So I'm not excited about that at all because Siri sucks. That's my thoughts on it. Again, I like the idea of it if they can, like you to your point, if they really do make some really big improvements on Siri for when they announce the new iPhone,
then it will be cool.
then sure, I'll be down for it. But I have never had a good I don't want to say never. Most of the times, do not have good experiences with Siri, and for $350, so for a speaker,
Well, they did that thing again. They're like, oh, a good quality speaker is
yeah,
this much.
bull, complete bull. Like
yeah.
they're sorry. Let me clearly articulate these thoughts here before I lose it. $350, like you get some like really premium brand speakers for like Bluetooth ones.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking companies like Bowers and Wilkins, Definitive Technology. Like you could get like Bluetooth speakers for that price. Granted, they're not smart speakers, and
Yeah,
they're
but
actually a little bit cheaper.
For $50,
But
you could
you
add an
could add
Amazon Dot
a dot to it, and you'll have the same thing.
because you can
So
hook up a Dot to anything.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I think had Apple went that approach, I would be more okay with it. But my biggest thing is Siri sucks.
yeah.
I'm just not a fan of Siri.
I just. So here's the thing, like the rumors, right? They were like, they're getting rid of the airport line. It's going to be a router. You
Oh, that
want
would
to
have
put
been
the
amazing.
router in a spot in your house.
I would be
where
cool with
You
that.
have access for everything, and it's supposed to be in the centralized, supposed to
Like
look
their
nice.
networking products are like amazing. I think.
And if they did that with the speaker, and had Siri Home integration and everything, for $350,
Well, even
that
if,
would be worth it.
even if it was like $450, because think about how expensive the time capsule is.
Yeah, but if they integrated all of that, that would have been awesome. But again, like
That would be innovation.
you have a Amazon Echo or Dot or whatever, you could install specific web applications onto it and expand its ability.
Especially,
Siri, you can't do any of that.
I think it might be a little too soon to call it a saturated market. But how many
It's getting
people?
there.
But how many people already own Echo Dots? How many people already own Google Homes?
Mhm.
How many people have all these other smart devices? That are they really going to need that?
And it's not done differently.
Yeah,
Like I'm sure the speakers a higher quality. I'm sure the directional microphones are a good quality.
but most people, that's not important to your average
No.
consumer.
And the A8 chip, yes, it's a very fast processor.
Yeah,
But you
But
don't
for
do
what?
anything with it. Right? Like, all right, I'm sure it gets the audio of the room and kind of changes settings
Yeah.
and stuff to make it better. But do you need something that powerful that only plays
mean,
music?
like I'm reading over it now just because, again, maybe
Maybe we
was-
missed something.
maybe we missed something because it was getting like to the end of the long broadcast and I stopped paying attention. But like no, nothing went by me. I was just that
a
bored.
speaker. It's a Wi-Fi speaker
Uh,
that accesses your Apple Music that you're paying for. Right?
Wait, what? That's all it accesses?
No, no.
Oh, I was
I'm-
about to
I'm-
say.
I'm sure
I was
it's
about
also
to blow a
AirPlay,
gasket.
so you could also play other music to it. But that's what they were saying is you could say, oh, play this song by whoever if you pay for their music subscription, and then you could ask like, oh, who's the drummer? Oh, who's this? Okay, that's kind of cool.
That was cool.
but
when
that's all you do. Like you're trying to get into the home business, right? Sorry, Phil. You're
No,
trying to get
no,
into
not
the home
you, I'm
market,
just-
and you have all these like smart lights and locks, and you could do so much with that. And instead, you made a speaker that plays music.
That's the same thing that other competitors are doing. And don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, I fit the definition of an Apple sheep in many different ways, but I'm sorry, I don't.
I just don't get it.
What was? Remember
Ah.
that there was a tweet. And if those of you that are just listening, not watching the video, I'm doing hand gestures here. You probably won't get. But remember, I think it was Jenna who tweeted the like, was this the
The toilet
inspiration?
paper?
No, it was like it looked like toilet paper, but it's like a thing of yarn.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
If you Jenna Zarek, I'm sorry, I'm butchering your last name probably, but tweeted that I was dying.
It doesn't even look nice though. That's the other, like from the top, it looks like a wireless access point from like Unify, right? From the side, it looks like a ball of yarn or something. I mean, it's some type of string that you tie newspapers with.
At first glance, I thought it looked like the trash can style Mac Pro.
And that would have been nice.
That would have been amazing if it
I
actually
mean,
looked
you
like
need the
that. But
mesh,
it's
I
like,
guess for the
but it's like a lot shorter and meshier.
7
and...
inches, Phil. It's that magic number.
It's yeah, apparently.
Yep.
I don't.
I room sensing technology. My soundbar does that. Like that's nothing.
Like I'm not
big.
excited about this. Again, unless Siri somehow blows us away when they update it next.
Well,
Sure,
I'm
but
telling you, mark my words. Something big with Siri is going to happen.
when does this ship actually?
When does it? They said. I think they said end of the year, which is after the.
After they update Siri. So if they do that,
they're
I'll be
they're
okay.
going to update Siri. You can mark my word on that.
They really need to.
They need to.
Because never mind. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to share your thoughts. If you think this is awesome, go ahead. But I mean, I've even talked to people that are really Apple fanboys, and they're like, Yeah, I kind of have all that stuff already. I don't really need it.
It's just not innovative.
No, and I mean, there's new protocols for Wi-Fi too, and the airport's only AC. And what's the new one?
AD.
AD is out. Why not make AD Wi-Fi into this? Then I'd buy it.
That would be so much better.
It would multi MIMO support. It would be good.
Or especially so, I'm worried. So I mentioned a little while ago that their networking products are very good, but I'm even worried about their survival in that market now.
Yeah, in airports, you're saying?
No,
I didn't hear what
I'm
you said. Sorry.
about the airport,
The
like
airport
their
router?
airport line.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm
there
worried
was
about that in general.
there
They're
was
great
rumors
routers.
that was going. Oh, they're awesome.
Like some of the best I've ever had,
I've
but
had them for 8 years, and they still
they
struggle.
can't compete with a lot of these like whole home Wi-Fi systems, which basically those they kind of try to their mesh networks.
They can though, because you can hook up to 3 airports onto them.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's not.
And they were kind of the first to do that.
It's not as
Well, one of the first, I'm sure. Earlier.
yeah, but
Not the
you're.
It's a different protocol. So
It's different.
these are repeaters. So they take the Wi-Fi signal and they repeat it.
Like so,
Mesh network's different because it uses a different underlying technology to
yeah, but my point is,
communicate.
most people don't know that
That they can do that.
exactly.
Yeah, I know. But
That's what I'm talking about. When you think like your average market, they're gonna go like the more innovative companies. And for those of you just listening, I'm using air quotes there. I don't mean to bash Apple in that way. I'm just saying, but they're if the market isn't seeing the new product from Apple, they're not gonna buy it.
no, I got you.
That's what I
'Cause
mean.
it's
Like,
not as highly advertised.
yeah,
Because
it can be done. I mean, and they do advertise like their Airport Express that you could add it on and it'll
yeah.
have that effect. They do mention that, but it's not.
But then again, you're paying $200 a unit. When
Yeah.
for 200 you get 3 of like the Google.
That's what I was getting to next.
I got you.
Like the Google Wi-Fi, for example.
Or is that $299?
It's $300 for 3 units.
Still cheaper than 2 airports.
Yeah.
Unless you buy them refurbished. Yeah.
So,
that's
yeah.
how I do it.
Just-
No,
yeah.
I get it.
It makes me upset because, like I said, Apple sheep.
But I mean, here's the other thing, right? So the Airport Extreme's been out for, don't quote me on this, but like 5 years.
I think 2011 is the last time they updated it. No,
right.
2012.
So say 2012.
Maybe
it'd be like 5 years.
2013.
Whatever. We say around 5 years, right? It's the same power as the Google On Hub that came out last year. And I was like, when Phil was looking for a new router, I was like, hey, get this or this. Like these are both. And if you look at all the reviews, they're saying this is equivalent, like basically 100% to the Google.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. It's still app controlled if you have an iPhone, but not like not as many features as the Google On Hub. But it just shows how good their networking stuff was, and it was always ahead of a time, and they just kind of fell off the market on that.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, and
nothing new.
Yeah, like Time Capsule, like Jesus Christ, that was the best thing in the world when I first.
They're awesome.
Got that. They still are good, but
and you know what's crazy about that? They have iCloud Drive, and you have space you could buy on iCloud, but you still can't back up your Mac.
Yeah,
like it'll sync your desktop and your documents folder.
That's it.
But it won't back up your entire Mac like Time Capsule did.
Oh, you were hoping for unlimited storage.
Oh yeah,
that would have broke. That would have been it. Like
when they were saying that the JPEGs are smaller because they have the new type of JPEG.
That's what we were waiting
I'm
for.
like, yes, yeah, shove it in Google's face. Unlimited storage. Oh wait, no, they're still charging for it.
No, my phone died. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, fun times.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I mean, I'm still most excited about the iMac Pro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get the iMac Pro
and the new. Yeah, I don't.
I
say I am, but I'm probably.
It's too much money.
It is too much money.
I'm excited about external graphics support.
Yeah,
I don't know how many times I have to say that, but that is like one of my.
I'm super excited.
Things.
I'm really excited for it, but I wish I knew that before I built a really expensive computer.
No, I mean, it's still gonna be some time until gaming.
Yeah,
developers
until
make some stuff.
I thoroughly enjoy using Apple products, and I'm not like one of those like, oh, I'm a Mac person, I can't have a PC. Like to me, that's stupidity. But it's one of the things like if I could have all the experience on the Mac, like I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure by the time it actually happens, my computer will be worthless in terms of selling it. But that's just me.
Yeah. And I guess my other favorite thing I'm guessing is High Sierra.
Just the name. Just the name.
Can we just talk about that for a second? Like literally, why?
I was trying to be clever on Twitter, and I was like tweeting things out. So they said it was going to be somewhere in California, so I started tweeting like taking a trip to blank to photograph the new like wallpaper or something stupid. It actually isn't clever at all. Then they said hi Sierra. I was just like, what?
So the only thing I get from that, right, is I see hi Sierra, I think hey Siri, because hi and hey, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you look at like Sierra and Siri, you know, maybe they're separating it. Maybe they're going to be like, hey Sierra, and it comes up and you can talk to. They probably aren't, but that's the only connection I
Didn't
can
think
make.
of that. I just think
That's really it.
they want it to be funny.
We couldn't come up with a name, so we chose hi.
Like, what else is next?
But in any case,
I mean, I do like the updates they made to it, but
yeah, it's
I
just
can't get past the name.
what the hell.
Like Metal 2, like you said, it's very exciting. Very exciting stuff.
It's whatever, Apple.
If I could, I could play VR with like my Mac, like just attached to me.
I don't know. They said VR with the 21
on,
inch. So it was much better
on the
than
iMac. I know. But...
These are probably not good anymore. But whatever.
Oh well, stuff happens.
Yeah. So that's about
that's all I have
that we covered. I mean, there's definitely a lot more. And
yeah, like I said,
stuff.
this was never like a technical like we're gonna sit here and read things to you.
Just
we're
like
just
an
kind
overview
of talking about it.
Yeah.
We probably missed a bunch of stuff. Whatever.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff. And also throughout the week, I'm sure there's going to be more stuff revealed, or people look more in depth in it. They didn't think it was really worth it.
Yeah, because I honestly I watched the conference yesterday, and I really didn't look much else into it since, only because I knocked out and didn't wake up for many hours later.
Yeah,
and then I worked all day today, so I really didn't look too much into it yet. But I will be going down that rabbit hole very shortly.
Yeah. So on that bombshell, sorry, Top Gear.
Wow,
that pretty much wraps us up. And like we keep saying, please comment below. Nobody
please,
does.
We're desperate. No, I'm kidding.
No, we're not desperate. We just like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, comment below. Need anything?
We'll see you next time. If you need anything, there'd be like, hey, can
toothpaste.
you? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, if you want, honestly, if you want us to cover a specific topic, anything along those lines, we'll probably do it because I do anything.
No, we'll totally do it. I mean, we both work in technology backgrounds that we can't talk about, so we tend to know a little bit more stuff. But yeah, comment below.
This just went tragic real quick.
Tragic.
I'll see you guys next time.
I'll see you.